breath, you walk by, a picture book to my mind of you. A little change of circumstance, and maybe I could get my chance with you. You stopped instead, I caught your smile. Had to think for a little while what it is that I could say to make your love come my way. For so long I've waited there for you. Now you're lost. There's nothing I can do. I get shot and you said hi. A photograph in my mind of you. The confidence in your stance, and maybe I could have my dance with you. We had some trips, I felt the change. Ever since it's not the same. Tell me what I have to do so I can have my time with you. For so long I've waited there for you. Now you're lost. There's nothing I can do. Something that you've got, it's getting kinda hot. The way you move, I'm unprepared. I'm feeling up, I'm feeling proud. I'm running straight, I'm screaming out for you. For so long I've waited there for you. Now you're lost. There's nothing I can do.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to It Matters Radio. This is Sunday, and you know what that means. This is our special musical guest interview broadcast. This is the broadcast, yes, where you get to meet the talent behind the music. Get a little bit more of an intimate look into their lives. And with me is the lovely Carrie Hall, who works so very diligently and working with the artists and doing the interviews. Hi, Carrie.
Hi,
Hi.
Monica.
And Carrie,
Hi there.
can you introduce this wonderful man that's standing here with
Are you kidding? I've been waiting now for a couple of weeks for this guy. This is the fabulous Mark Cashin of Mark Cashin and the Lil Hussies, Australian band. They are genre-spanning songs. They are a force to be reckoned with, from what I understand, on stage. Welcome to the show, and I just have to say, Mark, I love you.
Very much. Thanks for having me.
I've been looking forward to this for a long time, ever since we heard your music. And
Yeah.
so happy
So,
you're joining us.
So, Mark, how did Mark Cashin and the Lil Hussies first get started?
It just begun after I actually had 100K head-on car crash. It was really strange. I'd write songs before that, they couldn't quite be finished, and I had this epiphany after the crash. I sat in a room for 2 hours and penned my first album, which was called Bed of Light, Mark Cashin. And then sort of extensions and evolving from that, new albums, different reasons for writing them came along, and this one was, the latest album was an extension of all of those things, just in an evolving sense, I guess.
Isn't
Right.
that something? So it just came to you from out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's funny now as a songwriter with me, I'm 6 albums in, and I just co-produced an album for a guy called Adam Jones, and I just know what I want. It sort of comes to me. I don't go and get the guitar. I find it on top of me. Next minute, the song's sort of, the hook's rolling around. If it sticks with me, I'll write the song. If it doesn't, I'll let it go,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. So, Little Hussies, that's a great name. How did that name come about?
Yeah.
I love that name.
I was speaking with one of my old promoters in Newcastle, like in Australia, Michelle Croker, and she just suggested it one day. Why don't you call Mark? Because Little Hussey is a song off the first album, and it's just like a crazy name, I guess. Like Motley Crue, beautiful girls. It's just they're a great bunch of guys. I love them to death. They're the greatest rock band.
Yeah, I know. I Mark, can you tell us a little bit about the other guys, or Carrie, do you have their information?
Yeah, tell us. Yeah, I wanted to know more about the band members because they're all strong. What are their names and what did they play?
We had a recent lineup change for guitar. Our guitarist recently moved to Brisbane, so we had to change guitarists. Brisbane's like another state. It's in Queensland.
So what? Yeah.
1 hour flight, but 12-hour drive, and Dave just decides, we'll do anything that we've got to do in Brisbane, he'll do with us. But we picked up a new guitarist called Jake George. He's an absolutely awesome guitarist, can do anything Dragon Force can do, down to the slowness of whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, all in between. So it's really exciting, and he's given the band a gift of power. Unfortunately, last month, today, at this time, I lost my son.
Yeah, guys, I just wanted you to know why he was getting a little bit emotional, because I know the guys have been there for you.
My drummer on the last 2 albums, and it's a big part of our music life.
Yeah,
it's gone.
It's got to be very hard. And Mark, we give you our condolences on your son, because that's very, very hard. He was definitely a part of your band. So I want to change the subject a little bit. What is Aussie rock? Now, there's American rock, British rock, you name it. Tell me the difference. What is Aussie rock?
Aussie rock is mainly probably influenced by the bands like AC/DC, Kiss, stuff like that. Back in my generation, it's a culmination of that and everything great that was going on in America at the time. Like, I guess Van Halen's, White Snakes, like I said, the AC/DC's been a big sort of thing that's went on for ages. Like in Australia, get behind the team. They're rocking it for us.
Oh yeah, I
saw
them a few times live.
Yeah.
They were great.
Yeah, Aussie, and a Newcastle night scene, a Sydney night scene, and a Melbourne night scene with big fat guitars, and I guess all stories like that. Yeah, and all in together. It's a combination of early American greats and Australians. Yeah, and like classic rock. What we all enjoy. We all enjoy a great chorus, a verse that everyone in the world can relate to, and then we've got our chant in the chorus, you know what I mean? And if everyone can relate to that in their own way in the world, you've captured the globe in a sense that everyone can relate to that story in a different way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a hard thing to do too. But
I don't be desperate. I never be desperate. I let it come to me, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, so. Yeah, in my youth, I used to scurry and hurry for the right content for the song. Now I don't. I just wait for it to come to me and wait for it to like me not to feel so desperate, and it sort of falls into place like that way for me. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So you've been in the music business a pretty fair amount of time.
Yeah.
What have you seen in that's been great about the indie music scene, and what have you seen that's just really terrible about the indie scene?
I think the truth's the truth. It all lies there. You know what I mean? Like the people that are commercialised in the sense of being pumped and led like sheep down the path, or the people who are willing to open their eyes and look at the great bands that are out there rather than just the commercial bands. Yeah. I think that's how it's on. You know, it's a powerful scene, and it's a respected scene because we see ourselves as the true champions, not a commercial built type enigma. You know what I mean?
Right. There's a big difference between somebody picking up a guitar and they played it, a little while, and then they decide they're going to put a CD out.
And I do refer to modern times, not the old times. So we have, of course, Aerosmith, Aussie, Kiss. They're all under major labels, which they deserve to be. I don't talk of them times. I talk of the current times. Yeah.
Correct. Right.
Right.
Big difference.
Right.
Big difference.
Yeah.
So, Monica, let's take a break so we can listen to some of Mark Cashin's fabulous music, and then we'll be right back with Mark Cashin.
Okay.
I wasn't pump out for Red Bull commercial either. All right.
All right. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Watch our strength, our games. We are projectors of the name. See the world decay. Our 13 families lead the way. Shape the face of man. The blood will stain our wealthy hands. You live. Not one do we give. Just watch you come on gone. You got wild and it took us on. You wrap it up and you let it roll. 'Cause you got no place to go. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, whoa, whoa. Rock it up, let it roll. Love child on the rock child. We ain't got no place to go. Love child on the rock child. Rock it up, let it roll. Love child on the rock child. Waiting on you all the world. Love child on the rock child. Love child, love child, love child on the rock child. Love child, love child, love child on the rock child. Love child, love child, love child on the rock child. Waiting on you all the world.
So, folks, I hope you're enjoying this great day of music with Mark Cashin and the Little Hussies. This has been a fabulous, fabulous interview for me because I love his sound and he's just a great musician. So, Mark, I wanted to talk to you about Cashology. There are some great songs on there. Do you have a favorite? And what is Cashology? What is that?
That's an album that come off the Bed of Light album, and that sort of album sort of wrote itself, as you might, if you scan across the music content on that album, you'll realise it's written about my non-allowance to come to America.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, tell us about that.
That's terrible. We want you here.
I know, I want me there too. But yeah, so each song sort of like ramifications, you know what I mean? I'm stuck in situations from, you know, my ramifications in the past, and Hollywood, I promised to be good if I only could, if I get to Hollywood, you know. As I said, lyrical content, you know, songs like Set in Stone. It was a really weird feeling. I lost my father when I was 10, so I've lost my father and my son now, so songs sort of wrote themselves, mystical type things. Songs like The End, which is on the Cashology, you know, like I felt like it was the end. So I wrote that. I never wrote any words for that. It just comes out of my mouth. So we recorded it and captured that and took it to the studio, and yeah, and that was the end of the album. I thought it was the end of me and everything, but then we refreshed and Cohen jumped on the next album, my son, album called A Velvet Hour.
Yes.
About 3 years ago, I think now. And then, of course, on the Sugar Baby with my next album. And that's when we finally started to wake up and evolve and realise that we can do this.
So now, did they not let you into America because of just minor infractions? How did...
I had a situation where I had someone attack my girlfriend. I jumped in between it and sort of sorted out the situation, and a man fell in the fire, and I got charged with a malicious injury charge.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So it was only $1,000, you know. It was a defensive thing. And it's just kind of like that. No, and she had glasses like you, Monica, you know. I didn't want anyone to hurt her, you know. Yeah, so it's just a defensive act and, you know, get away type thing, and it cost me that. So, yeah, that's probably the main one, like that won't let us into America. Yeah, but we can work through that in the future. It's just,
I think so too.
Right now, I struggle to work through every day, so we'll get to that.
Okay.
But, guys, like, you know, I can speak with my voice and our music with my son and my band through your radio.
That's right. And
So,
you guys.
well, I think that you'll end up here because personally, I heard your music one time. And that's all I needed to hear was the one time, and I knew how great you were.
Everyone says it too, and I say, oh, well, you know, they go, why aren't you here, there? I go, well, it's because I haven't been invited, you know.
Aww.
So,
well, but you know, we're all going to have to work on that because I tell you what, money talks, and if enough people are fans and they demand that Mark Cashin and the Little Hussies come to America, it'll happen because it's all about the money they can make.
We will rock your house down. Our current show's in an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
My good old friend back on the drums with me, Nathan Chap. So we have still that family thing. We have no egos in our band. We all just get in there and get into it, you know, for the passion of music. So, yeah, it's
well,
a really good...
you can tell that. You know, that's how you can tell a great band because you're in such harmony.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you were meant to be together. You were meant to play this music, and it shows.
I really love Rick up on stage, and he's like watching a monster, you know, like
exactly. Speaking of stage, do you have a gig coming up pretty soon? I believe.
Well, we did, and we had a few things planned, but due to recent events, we haven't gone any further.
Right.
Thanks,
but I'm sure that after a while, you know, and after things settle down with you and all, that you'll be able to reschedule some things, and certainly the fans understand.
Yeah, for sure. I've had Jake here, my lead guitarist. Like he's been hanging out with me every day, and Rachel here every day, of course. and like have family coming down all the time. So it's all good. Yeah, it's just I'm lucky to have such a great support. But
Yes.
the month by, it's been like a matrix, you know, where everything stops. It's an incredible thing.
It's
But
kind of surreal, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. And
yeah.
I shouldn't say this. I don't mean to be jaded or anything, but I think that you're going to get some
That's
great
my favourite
music.
songs by her, Jaded. One of my favourite songs.
Is Jaded, yeah. But I'm
There you
thinking
go.
that you're going to be writing some great music soon. That's going to come
I
from the heart.
hope so. We've worked really hard in Australia, and we've worked hard to bring out a genuine good product.
Excuse me.
It's shot off stage just as it is on the album, so we're always up for anything that we you know, we can do this. We're not such a band anymore that walks out there and pays to play, or you know, or pays for nothing. So we'll just sit idle, and we'll, if we were to come to America, someone accommodates us, you know, that's all good, but that's another situation.
Exactly.
In Australia, we're not bump into every pub every week, you know, doing a gig for nothing, belting our heads into the wall, sort of thing. Yeah, it's so we like to build up our shows, you know what I mean, and do a few in the Newcastle area, Central Coast, Sydney, beyond wherever. But we like to build them right up and make them exciting with some features in there. Yeah.
So, Mark, since you, as I mentioned, you've been in the business for a long time. What advice would you give to to a band in Australia, let's say, trying to get coverage and noticed?
I'd make sure that they're under 23. But with that joke aside, I guess the only advice for younger musicians writing songs and working the industry, just to keep on doing what you do, and don't be desperate, once again, for your content, just to get the album completed. Make sure that you've got everything right, and look back on it, and always work with your closest allies to make sure that you know, it's not just you that's hearing it, it's someone else that's sort of, they're hearing the right things, you know what I mean?
Right.
I've got a great engine, Pilling the albums from Foghorn Records, and we make sure that, you know, we're in that. That's all I can suggest to young musicians. Just keep on playing, work with the industry, have plenty of money, be under 23 or 22 even, and pay your way to all the commercial papers, and maybe, you know.
Hey, Mark, I was 22 once. Oh.
Weren't we all? I know.
Yeah, magic age. Mark, I want to. Right, we keep working. Mark, I want to thank you so much for joining us. The last question I have is, you have a song called Far Too Long. Talk a little bit about that great song, and I believe it's tied to a video or a movie or something like that.
For So Long it is.
For So Long, sorry.
It's very popular out here in Australia. It's I guess it's just a beautiful guitar thing that was brought to me by Cashin the Lil, my rhythm guitarist, and it was just a nice little riff that we managed to. I don't know. Writing that song was kind of like I imagine Todd Rundgren felt when he wrote "Can We Still Be Friends." It felt like to me that I'd wrote something like that, and I was really happy. Yeah, but. I guess I split up with my wife. I separated 6 years ago, so it could be a bit of that in there. And, you know, the lyrical content, once again, as long as it relates to everyone in the world in their situation, I'm happy. And everyone's got a "For So Long I've Waited Here For You" type story.
Yes.
So I thought it was appropriate, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a great song, and I love it. I love the song. Mark, I want to thank you again for joining us. It's been really great. We hope to see you in the United States soon. I think those infraction things or strictness is ridiculous. So, you know, hopefully you'll come see us. And we have our show here 7 days a week at 6 days a week, 7 p.m. Eastern, with our special show on Sundays. And we always will appreciate you sending us any of your new music so Monica can stream it on her show.
Absolutely. And I have to just say that anybody that's listening to the show or watching the podcast right now, please stop by and say hello to Mark on the Facebook page. And is that under Mark Cashin and the Little Husseys?
Yeah, or Mark Cashin Band. We
Mark
started
Cashin
as
Band.
You know, Mark Cashin Band or Mark Cashin the Lil Hussies, and you should find us okay.
All
Give us a
right.
like, get involved, and once we hit 10,000 likes, we give a trip away to Indonesia, and we've got little things like that happen, you know.
Yeah, that people need to check it out. Absolutely.
Right. So speaking of music, real quick, where can we buy your music?
You can grab it on iTunes. You can hear it on Spotify. If you request an album, it'll be sent via MGM. You know, physical CD form. It's all up to the consumer, I guess, what their apparatus is favoured. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Cool.
Oh, Mark, please come back again. Maybe 6 months or a year.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I just think, I don't know if I said this before, but I don't think you're just good as a band. I think you're great.
Great.
And
Yeah.
I don't say that very often. It's,
Thank you.
you know, you should be, you should be in the States. You should be touring the whole world. And I hope that happens soon. And
Well, only from the help of guys like you can that happen. So I've got to keep going. I have to keep walking this road.
that's right.
And in it, I'll get back to where I need to be one day.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you, Mark, so much. We
Bye-bye.
appreciate you.
Bye-bye. Cheers. Thank you, America. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Cheers.
Carrie.
Yeah.
I just adore him. He's a wonderful person. And I hope everybody understands that Mark just lost his son a month ago. And he was gracious enough to come on the show with us today. And I just think that that was wonderful of him to do that because I think it's, you know, his son was the drummer in the band. I think his son would have liked to have done that. And that's why we dedicated this show to his son. Stop by his Facebook page, folks, and say hello to him. I'm sure he could use a friend right now, as we all could under those circumstances. And definitely check out their music because you're going to love it.
Yes, indeed.
So with that, Carrie, are you ready for some more of Mark
I am ready for
Cashin
some Mark Cashin, yes.
and the Little Hussies? Here we go.
Mama, don't be so judgmental. It's true that I have not been well. While you been out having your good times, I've been stuck down here in hell. I never had a chance to see it from the outside. All the pain I've caused and all those times I've cried inside. Mother, be a little kinder and try to understand my words. I try to tell you about tomorrow, but I've just seen and I'm not heard. I never had a chance to see it from the outside. The hurt and pain I've caused and all those times I've made you cry.